Hello, this afternoon on the marketplace, banks say they are making significant progress in meeting the police's deadline to have all vehicles for cutting currencies fortified. This follows a wave of bullion van attacks resulting in deaths.
Work is underway. As an industry, we are putting our efforts together as one unit.
The Bank of Ghana lays fears that the Ghana cedi will come under pressure in the second half of this year as a result of record debt servicing to be made from July 2021.
The government of Ghana has also indicated that this year it will tighten fiscal policy a little bit to reduce the fiscal deficit. So if you put all of this together, I think that we are in a good position to have a stable currency for the rest of the year.
Also this afternoon, President Akufo-Addo calls on African countries to build resilient economies in the post-COVID era by creating a new entrepreneurial-led ecosystem. He has been addressing the annual meeting of the Africa Development Bank Group.
Old pathways to recover are no longer an option, and we are being forced to prepare for a new uncertain future ahead proactively.
We'll have more on this and other stories right after this. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for being with us this Thursday afternoon. Now, banks say they have made significant progress towards meeting the police's deadline of having all vehicles for cutting currencies fortified. The Inspector General of Police earlier this month warned that the banks risk losing their escort if they fail to do so by the end of June. Now, the warning followed recent attacks on bullion vans resulting in loss of lives. Now, some of the banks had expressed reservation about this earlier on, but Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Bankers, John Ewa, says an initial agreement has been reached with the police on the issue. He spoke extensively with my colleague, George Yafe.
The work is underway. As an industry, we are putting our efforts together as one unit. Of course, we have several of the soft body vans in the system, and we also have a few of the armored bullion vans. What in the interim operationally we will do is to make use of what is available as we go through the processes of procurement to augment the numbers.
So basically, you're dealing with what is in, and also there was even talk that we can even, why don't you fall on the Bank of Ghana and some other institutions that may have these things in place to rent-wise as well?
Yeah, all the options are on the table, but as I said, discussions are happening in the background.
So this has put quite a stress on the industry, but you are working hard towards to meet this deadline.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you are the 2023 timeline and it's been rolled back to 2021 and we're given quite a short window to comply, then it's stress in the environment. But that is what you are paid to do. So work is currently ongoing to ensure that the cash operations angle of our business does not, grind to a halt when we move into July.
How is the banks committed to this cash light agenda? I know that a lot of the commercial banks have a lot of electronic channels in place, but do you think that we've gotten to a stage where people should be encouraged, motivated, and make it stress-free to use all these cash light channels?
That is the go-to state. Any forward-looking country, has direct emphasis on digital platforms, limiting or reducing the volume of cash transactions as much as possible. As a country, we've made some very good progress. One of the unintended benefits of COVID has been a significant migration of a large population of banking population onto other channels or other banking platforms, which is a good development. Unfortunately, because the option of cash is still very open, and people find a lot of convenience for some reason dealing with cash, we are still grappling with significant volume of transactions happening on cash basis, and with people carrying hard currency, physical cash, to execute basic transactions. If you walk to a bank branch as we speak, the people you see in the queue withdrawing cash, most of them are withdrawing cash to go and undertake transactions that they could easily undertake using other channels, using a gift instant pay, doing a bank-to-bank transfer, doing a POS. Most of these merchants you see around have POS from at least 2 or 3 banks, but you go there, the POSs are under their cabinets, and they are taking cash. Meanwhile, once you transact on a POS, it is money already banked. And that is where, as a society, we have to move to, where the first thing that comes to mind when we want to execute a transaction is not to say, oh, I'm going to bank to withdraw the money to undertake that transaction, but that we can do it. You can do it on your cell phone, do it on your other devices. It's as easy as that. And as I said, it creates better audit trail of your transaction, and even for personal financial management as well, because you see exactly how money is being made and how money is being spent on your account.
Some businesses have complained about the cost of using some of these platforms. Is this something that the banks could also look at so that the cost is spread? Because people are saying that we want to use these POS, but it is quite expensive to use these channels, and sometimes to the real time and networking as well, which sometimes might be out of your hand in terms of internet connectivity. It's a big disincentive for using these platforms.
For the user of the channel, really, compared to cash, I think cash is more expensive. Let me give you a typical analogy. If you live in Wager and you have to undertake a transaction at the shopping mall, and you go to your bank first, traveling all the way from Wager all the way to your bank to withdraw just cash, use that cash to undertake a transaction before you go to the shop where the transaction is being executed to undertake the transaction. I do not think that is how you save money by using pure cash in that circumstance, when you could have done maybe an instant pay where the maximum you are charged is 5 cedis. 5 cedis for the instant pay. So why don't you undertake it through a digital platform or this alternate banking channel, instead of carrying the risk involved, the potential attacks? You can drop the money, anything can happen. You have a breakdown and you don't know whether to sort your car out. You have cash in the car. All the inconvenience associated with holding cash is such that I do not think it is anywhere when you compare with the little you pay for using other banking channels. And what the banks have done is, most of these channels, they have bundled the cost, and they charge you, most of them charge a fixed amount for using all the channels a month. You understand? And it's for you to make sure that for paying, you make maximum use of the channels that have been open to you.
That was Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Bankers, John Ewa, on the progress being made in fortifying vehicles to curb the impact of bullion VAT attacks. Remember that the recent one resulted in the loss of 2 lives. Now, the Bank of Ghana is allaying fears that the Ghana cedi will come under pressure in the second half of this year. Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Ernest Addison, recently expressed concern that the country's strong reserves could deplete sharply as a result of record debt servicing to be made from July this year. Now, there are fears the cedi could start depreciating sharply whilst imports will pick up due to easing of COVID-19 restrictions in most advanced economies. But head of financial markets at the Bank of Ghana, Stephen Opata, is sure the cedi will remain fairly stable in the coming months. Here's his reason.
And as you see from last year, we had quite significant foreign exchange resources. As a matter of fact, the foreign exchange reserves we have now, 11 billion, is the largest we've had on record. So that shows you that we are building significant foreign exchange assets to support the interbank and the domestic economy. But other reform measures that we've taken that I know you are aware of is the foreign exchange auctions, which is now beginning to root itself into the psyche of people who demand FS in the economy, so that people, instead of coming on the spot market and trying to get foreign exchange when they don't need it, now they are anchoring their demand to the forward auctions according to the tenor for which they will need FX. This is beginning to work very well. But also very important is that we'll be beginning to see a return of non-resident invested into the bond market, local currency bond market. During the era of the onset of the COVID, some of them disinvested, but we're beginning to see them come back. The fact that Ghana is still able to issue Euro bonds has also helped, and some of the liquidity facilities we got during the pandemic has also helped. So we are in a very good position, of course supported by appropriate monetary policy, and we think that it should carry the cedi through. Actually, year to date, the cedi is appreciating, and I don't remember the last time I saw that.
But the fear is that as the economy is open up, demand is picking up, people start importing strongly, that will put your reserves to test. Do you have what it takes to deal with that pressure, with all the commitments you have to do with the payments on government borrowings, the interest payments and all the rest? So some are saying that the next half of the year will be your real test.
Yeah, but you are also aware that our reserves go through cycles, and the fact that we are sitting on record reserves in June at this time of the year is a testament that we are beginning to build significant FS buffers. And also, as I mentioned to you, because of the forward auctions, people are not demanding foreign currency when they don't need it. So even if you look at our budget for balance of payment support, we are doing below what we are expected to do, because people are asking for getting FX when they need it through the auction. So I think we are in a very good shape. You know, in the third quarter, cocoa syndicated loans will come. Government is talking about issuing a sustainable bond. If that should also come through, then I think we are in a very good shape, and supported by appropriate monetary policy. And the government of Ghana has also indicated that this year it will tighten fiscal policy a little bit to reduce the fiscal deficit. So if you put all of this together, I think that we are in a good position to have a stable currency for the rest of the year. Thank you.
Well, meanwhile, the total value of foreign currency deposits with commercial banks at the end of March this year witnessed some significant increase. Data from the Bank of Ghana put the value at $4.6 billion compared with $3.1 billion during the same period last year. George Yafe has the details.
This is the total value of all foreign currencies that has been lodged at the various commercial banks in the country by individuals and businesses. However, for easy calculation and comparison, everything has been converted into dollars. In just 1 year, the amount has increased by more than $1 billion to reach $4.6 billion. For some, the development is worrying because it has been established that the majority of these accounts are not necessarily for those that are practically engaged in legitimate dollar business, but rather persons and firms that want to protect their investments against inflation. This often see these persons go out there and buy dollars and open accounts for it. But the development has been described by some currency experts as not so good for the Ghana cedi stability. This is because some have argued that the practice has also been one of the major contributory factors for the cedi's perennial depreciation. It often ends up depriving firms that badly need these dollars for various business transactions. Others believe that one of the surest ways to deal with this practice is by firmly stabilizing the Ghana cedi.
And you're watching The Marketplace. Still ahead, President Akufo-Addo calling on African countries to build resilient economies in the post-COVID era by creating a new entrepreneurial-led ecosystem. We'll have details coming up.
Old pathways to recover are no longer an option, and we are being forced to prepare for a new uncertain future ahead proactively.
Welcome back to The Marketplace. My name is Darrell Kwa. We begin this next segment with post-COVID-19 economic recovery. President Akufo-Addo says it is time for Africa to build a resilient economy in the post-COVID era by creating a new entrepreneurial-led ecosystem that delivers skills-building opportunities and self-sustaining robust economic development for the young people on the continent. That the president was speaking at the opening of a virtual annual meeting of the Africa Development Bank Group.
I hope to see additional collaborations, partnerships, and the continued allocation of substantial resources towards initiatives that accelerate our chances of building back boldly, better, and greener. I ask that we remain focused on promoting inclusive growth, especially in digitalization, health, agriculture, industrial processing, and eliminating gender disparities. Today's annual meetings have an appropriate focus, building resilient economies in post-COVID-19 Africa, which is an unavoidable imperative if our continent is to recover from the effects of the pandemic. In an unprecedented global event of this magnitude, we must engineer a response that will help accelerate our structural transformation. Our will in seeing it through must be total. We need to reawaken bonds of solidarity between the bank group, African Union organs and institutions, and regional economic communities, and demonstrate a united commitment towards rebuilding our communities. As we meet to debate and strategize, we cannot ignore the significant challenges facing us. The pandemic has taken over 130,000 lives to date on the continent and pushed our economies into contraction by an estimated 2% to 5.4% of GDP, according to the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA. Old pathways to recover are no longer an option, and we are being forced to prepare for a new uncertain future ahead proactively.
President Akufo-Addo there addressing the virtual annual meeting of the Africa Development Bank Group. Well, so Ghana's biggest bank, Ecobank Ghana, has been touting its achievements since beginning banking business over the past 30 years as a merchant bank then. The first quartile bank, which is now the most profitable in the industry, is attributing its sterling performance to enhanced work culture, right governance principles, and adherence to its vision and mission status. Dr. Edward Botwe is the Executive Director of Ecobank Ghana.
To be where we are currently, I think it speaks to the commitment and efforts of various generations of Ecobankers, that in a span of roughly 30 years, we've been able to move from the smallest bank in Ghana to become the biggest bank in Ghana. I think the quality of the workforce that we've had, I think the work culture within Ecobank, I think the fact that we put the customer first, I think the fact that we've been very strong on innovation and asking ourselves, how do we improve daily? I think all of that has come together. And I must say that along the journey, we've had support from various stakeholders, from the Bank of Ghana, from SEC, from Stock Exchange, and from all of them. I think that has been very helpful in getting us to where we are. For us in Ecobank, it's a question of how do we continue to improve, how do we continue to meet our customer needs, and that really is what drives us on a daily basis.
I guess during the journey, there were times you even doubted whether you would be able to reach where you are today. I'm sure in every business it happens so. But what exactly was the model that Ecobank used that has catapulted it to this level today?
I would not say that we doubted. I'll just say that it is just been a long journey. Not that at any point we doubted, because I think in-house that drive to excel has always been extremely strong, and we continue to, as we aspire to the various targets that we want to achieve. But if you're asking for what is a model, what has been the driving force, I'd say it comes down to focusing on meeting customer needs. So you would find that our customers are spread across all the sectors of the Ghanaian economy, across various angles, from microfinance to big corporate clients, and to be able to address and to meet the different needs of this different customer base. I think that for me would be the key factor in driving the bank to where it is now. At the heart of that also has been the innovation that we have continued to put across. I think those for me would be the key factors that has helped to bring Ecobank to where we are now.
From Ecobank Ghana to Republic Bank Ghana, where the managing director Farid Anta is making a strong case for a sustainable greening and beautification of Accra. According to him, there's a need to position the capital as not only a financial hub, but also conducive for trading among member states under the Continental Free Trade Area. He spoke to Joy Business at his signing ceremony between his outfit and the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to adopt the AU Square for greening and beautification.
It's a substantial figure. It's an initial investment to improve the infrastructure of the AU Square, and then the maintenance, the greening, and the ongoing project. It will continue, and there will be other expenditure around it. We will, as the mayor said, the honourable mayor said, we don't want it to be just an idle asset that looks nice and no one can use. So it's something that will be used, so the maintenance will be critical. Parks and it would be very parks and gardens, very critical in helping us manage the right greenery, the right foliage that will be able to sustain whatever activities we have and still play the role. So we would invite a number of whether it's African countries through their celebrations. We may try to have some concerts and events to keep it alive. But it is not one project. As we mentioned, we did some greening in the University of Ghana. We did planting of trees. We want to get into this whole reuse, recycle aspect of it. So it's really in pursuit of the global ambition of climate action. I think what it does, there's a psychological position behind everything. So it enhances our own view and vision or feeling of the African people, of the African culture. And being the seat of the Secretariat, it is important to show that we are not just Ghana focused, but we are African Union focused. It's a broader continental message. And that's why we want to keep it active.
And you're watching The Marketplace. We're turning to Agric now. An emerging agro company, Sancity Farms, is positioning itself to help increase Ghana's food production capacity to curb importation of processed foods. The company, situated in the Afajato South district of the Volta region, also aims to lessen the burden of perennial animal feed shortage in the country and reduce the unemployment rate. Now, the special aide to the Chief Executive Officer of Sancity Farms, George Glory, is appealing to government to give his entity some tax exemptions on machineries that would be imported for the 8 processing factories to be established. There's more in this report.
Management of Sancity Farms has acquired over 500 acres of farmlands at Ver Agbodume to cultivate various crops. Though the company is largely vested in cashew production, it has employed the intercropping farming method. At sections of the cashew vegetation are ginger, pepper, maize, okra, among other crops. The special aide to the Chief Executive Officer of Sancity Farms, George Glory, explained why his outfit decided to use the intercropping method of farming.
You know, in cashew plantation, we need 30 feet interval to enable to get a bumper yield. So in between these 30 feet, we are not leaving the land alone. We are planting something there. That's why you see maize here, pepper here, tomatoes here, onion here, ginger here. That is what we are doing. So when you visit our farm, we have a one-stop shop. We are putting laughter to faces. Workers here, over 400-500 workers here. There are people resident in the community here.
He hinted that his entity hopes to lessen the perennial shortage of animal feed in the country.
No, when we are talking, assuming, when you look at a fish feed especially the import from Holland, Germany, or Europe, or outside to Ghana, poultry farmers alone is costing them. So if you have a 500-acre of land with the cashew and we can't leave it alone, we can't continue weeding it, we need to do make a use of that piece of land. We can get a feed from here.
Here at Sun City Farms, producing organic crops is a priority. That is why farm managers have adopted the use of sawdust mixed with animal droppings. Joseph Osei is the extension officer with the Ministry of Agriculture designated to monitor and advise managers of the farm.
So we are using sawdust and which mix up with cow dung. We are talking about poultry dung. We are talking about bat feces. All these contain high content nitrogen. So we mix all these matters together. We provide them under the cashew plant. So it does what? It provides moisture to the plant. That is the one thing. The second one also is it dissolves and adds nutrient to the plants. So you reduce costs in the sense that buying inorganic fertilizer like NPK and the rest to apply as compared to getting this cow dung, or let me say this organic matters, we get it at a cheaper cost.
Multi-purpose factories to process produce from the farm fields into finished products are under construction. 8 of these structures will be erected here to house different food processing plants. A structure would contain about 4,000 tons capacity warehouse, a processing unit, office and staff apartments. A packing unit, a control unit, a multi-purpose sports complex and a health facility would as well be constructed here. Mr. Glory indicated that his outfit would work with the relevant authorities to ensure food produced by the company meets international standards.
We are seeking for a license for Ghana Food and Drugs Authority, Ghana Standard Authority. We want a team to come and see the farm and let us test the product and then advise us the way we can meet international standard.
The MP for Afajatu South, Angela Alawute, who thought the farm was enthused by the level of investment done by Sun City Farms aiming at creating jobs to alleviate poverty.
I am a friend to the Agri Committee in Parliament, and at our next meeting I will mention it and ask that the committee comes round to, members of the committee comes round to tour the farm so that we can ask for some tax exemptions for him.
And that's Fred Kwame Asari's report ending the bulletin. Thanks for watching. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Goodbye.